I'm back. Before we get to it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you always watch the full video.
Young Dolph's death shocked the city of Memphis and the entire rap game, but most people have no idea about the deadly war that led to him getting killed in his hometown. So today we're breaking it all down and taking a look at the crazy beef between Paper Route Empire and the Trulla Mafia. Back in the day, Young Dolph's Paper Route crew and Trulla Mafia was cool with each other, and a Trulla member named J Money was real tight with Dolph. J Money was allegedly one of the most active dudes that Trulla had in the streets, but at the same time, he was going hard in the booth, and it looked like he could be the next rapper out of Memphis to make it big. Dolph and J Money linked up in the studio for a few tracks together, and people close to the situation say that Dolph was his biggest inspiration. Most rappers popping off in Memphis had to link up with another artist or major label to get their clout up in the industry, but Dolph made his own lane and did it all by himself. Going independent was a huge win for Dolph and proved he didn't need anybody's help to get put on. But his success is also what led to him getting brutally murdered. Before we get to that though, we gotta break down what was going on behind the scenes. According to rumors, J Money was getting busy in the streets and really putting pressure on the ops, and he caught a murder charge in 2014 for allegedly killing his own homie. A dude named Denzel Monroe was driving down the street when J Money started letting off shots. Monroe hopped out of the whip to let J Money know it wasn't some ops rolling up, but Jay allegedly kept shooting till Monroe was dead. J Money got hit with first-degree murder and 5 counts of attempted murder, but it's not clear how the situation shook out or why he started shooting in the first place. Jay was on his way up in the rap game, but keeping one foot in the trenches led to him getting killed just a couple years later. On August 20th, 2016, J Money was outside of a nightclub called Kitten's Cabaret when a dude named Freddie Yarber.
They be sad, dog. Like they be the only thing about doing these type of videos. They be sad, bro. Like somebody has potential to make it, but they study. Like, bro, people gotta understand. Like, the streets will never love you as much as you love the streets. Never, bro. Like, if you got a way out, take that way and run with it, bro.
Shot and killed him. The police said it was a gang-related hit, but it's not clear what set Yarber was repping. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and being a convicted felon in possession of a handgun. And in 2019, he went down for 15 years over the case. J Money's death was a huge blow to the Trulla Mafia. He was one of the most feared dudes in the city and was calling all the shots for the crew. Jay was putting on for Trulla Mafia in the rap game too and giving them even more clout. After he died, Trulla started having all kinds of internal drama, and that's when they split into 2 different sides and started a war that eventually got Dolph killed. Big Scar came up in the streets repping Trulla Mafia. After J Money's death, everyone started having static with each other, so Scar left and started his own crew, Rich and Ruthless, aka Double R. He brought some of his homies with him like Baby K, Kato 2 Times, and Tink, and at first everything was all good between Double R and Trulla. But that all changed after someone in Trulla murdered a Double R affiliate named BG. All the drama started when BG and a dude from Trulla named Simo sparked some kind of beef. At first it was just between the two of them, but when you both repping sets in a wild city like Memphis, it's only a matter of time before the crews get involved. Simo's older brother Zamo Trulla is another high-ranking member of the Trulla Mafia, and they always roll with dudes like Jay Mula, Zay, and Go Crazy. BG and Simo were dissing back and forth on social media, and Trulla allegedly escalated the situation and slid on him. BG was riding around with a Double R affiliate named 2-3 when some homies in another car pulled up and started letting off shots. BG was shot and killed, and 2-3 ended up in critical condition. It was rumored Simo, Zay, and Go Crazy was the ones who took him out, and that was later confirmed when the cops booked Go Crazy and hit him with first-degree murder, 3 attempted murders, assault, and use of a firearm commissioned of a dangerous felony. Crazy confessed to the shooting and took the fall for everything, but that was only the beginning. While Go Crazy was dealing with the BG murder situation, C-Mode was in juvie for a different case, and while he was behind bars, Double R allegedly clapped back and took out one of his closest homies. Zay and C-Mo came up together and allegedly slid on BG, and while C-Mo was locked up, Zay was shot and killed. It didn't take long for Trulla to get revenge though. 2-3 survived getting shot the night he got caught in the whip with BG, but he wasn't so lucky the next time the ops found him. They pulled up to his crib and started letting off shots into the apartment, and 2-3 and his dad both got hit. Unfortunately this time, he ain't pulled through and was pronounced dead. After C-Mo came back home, he jumped right back in the trenches and allegedly slid on Double R again. In January 2020, C-Mo, Jay Mula, and a dude named CEO Bobby all got booked after they got into a shootout in the middle of the day. The cops responded to the shooting and the Trulla guys tried to speed off, but after running a few red lights, they crashed their whip and the police caught up to him. C-Mode already had a bunch of charges against him, but after he bonded out, he hopped in the booth and started putting pressure on Double R in the rap game too. He dropped a track called Send a Hit and got a lot of buzz in the city, but Double R was clapping back in the booth as well. J Money's brother D Money was shot and killed on Trigg Street in Memphis. and CEO Jizzle from Double R dissed him on the track Rich and Ruthless and rapped, "If you diss on 2-3, swear to God it's gonna be RIP. You ain't hear what happened to the last dude, got left on Trig Street." Baby K was the first Double R rapper to get some buzz, but he convinced Big Scar to hop in the studio and he blew up instantly. Scar was racking up crazy numbers from the jump, and it ain't take long for Gucci Mane to reach out and sign him to 1017. Scar had connections in the industry because his cousin Pooh Shiesty was already signed to Gucci, and they started putting on for Memphis together like crazy. Making it in the rap game don't mean you safe from the streets though, and in 2020 the ops caught Big Scar and almost killed him. He took a gunshot to the hip, but the bullet wound went up his spine and into one of his lungs.
Damn,
Scar
boy.
barely survived the shooting, but he showed the ops that it wasn't gonna slow him down, and he hopped right back in the booth. Big Scar was also tight with Young Dolph and said he was a huge inspiration. Dolph was in a tough spot though because of what was going down between Double R and Trulla Mafia. Back in the day, he was cool with a lot of dudes on the Trulla side, but he also had homies in Double R and even signed a rapper from the crew named Big Rap fans who don't keep up with Memphis street politics ain't think it was a big deal, but in the city it was huge news. Dolph and J Money was super close before Jay's murder. His death caused a lot of drama between everyone in Trulla Mafia, but rumors say what really caused the split.
It be sad, bro. Like, this be the reason why a lot of people can't make it out, bro. Especially when you come from like a small city. Instead of y'all all, everybody supporting these artists. It be this type of stuff that separate everybody, so therefore nobody gets supported, so therefore nobody makes it. Crazy, man.
Was when Big Scar hooked up with D Money's girl. After Double R and Trulla went to war, D Money was allegedly killed by Big and that's why so many people were shocked that Dolph signed him to his label, Paper Route Empire. Dolph had been pretty neutral during the whole beef, but signing Big turned him into one of Trulla's biggest ops immediately, and it's what allegedly got him killed. Dolph came up in the streets and knew how hard it was to make it out of Memphis. What made him different though is how he did everything on his own. He could have signed with Yo Gotti back in the day and made everything easier for himself, but instead he invested his own money into the rap game and started taking over. By 2020, Dolph was already a living legend in Memphis, but at the same time his old homies was in the middle of a deadly war. Jay Moolah came home from jail after serving time from the shooting when he got locked up with C-Mode and CEO Bobby. Rumors was flying that a dude from Double R named Keto 2 Times robbed him and took his gun after he got back, but Moolah said it was all cap and that he had used the gun to shoot up Double R and then gave it to one of his little homies. At the same time, his homie C-Mo was still applying pressure on Double R. They allegedly shot him twice, but C-Mo survived and went right back to sliding on ops. The cops finally booked him after a bunch of shootings, and they even connected him to BG's murder from back in the day. C-Mo was one of Trulla's top shooters, and he allegedly even shot up the same house twice in the same week. He slid into Double R territory and started letting off shots at some dudes inside the crib, but missed everyone. So a few days later, C-Mo came right back and shot at two people who were standing outside at the same spot. C-Mo getting locked up was a massive blow for Trulla Mafia, but another dude in the set named CEO Teezy held it down for the crew. And this is how it all allegedly led to Young Dolph's tragic death. Teezy wasn't just Dolph's op because of the issues with Trulla Mafia. He also had ties to Yo Gotti and was spotted kicking it with Gotti's brother. Gotti and Dolph had major issues ever since Dolph decided to go independent instead of signing with him back in the day. When Dolph turned him down, Gotti...
Damn, cat, they beef still was dumb to me, bro. RP Dolph, but that was a dumb beef. Because if somebody don't want to sign to you, bro, that means he sees his worth, bro. He know he got a chance. Like, sometimes you got to take a chance on yourself than depend on somebody else, or letting your growth depend on somebody else, because that's what will happen. Like, when you sign to a label, you got to work on their time, especially when you have so many artists. Oh, you can't drop right now because this artist is dropping. Nah, bro, I'm dropping when I want to drop.
Signed Black Youngster instead and allegedly tried to take Dolph out twice. The first time happened after Dolph dropped a wild diss track called Play With Your Bitch and rapped, "Don't play with me, ho Gotti, you a hoe, man. You went from my biggest fan to my biggest hater, begging me to sign with you, but I had too much paper. Still that same nigga that used to front your big brother. Found out he a bitch too, now I call him your big sister. And they said the pussy niggas on your team are in your drawers. They say you make them pussy ass niggas call you boss, but they can't call you king because that's Dolph." One day after Dolph dropped a video for the track, someone slid on him in North Carolina and let off over 100 shots into his SUV. Black Youngster was charged for the shooting, but the cops ended up dropping the case against him because they ain't have enough evidence. Then a few months later, Dolph allegedly hunted Gotti down in LA to confront him over everything. It's not clear exactly how the situation popped off, but Dolph ended up getting shot 3 times. Dolph pulled through and made a full recovery, and after that, the beef with Gotti died down. But after Dolph was shot and killed in 2021, everyone immediately thought Gotti and CMG were involved with the situation. Dolph's issue with Gotti wasn't the only drama he was dealing with in Memphis, though, and the war between Double R and Trulla Mafia is allegedly what really got him killed. Dolph was at his favorite bakery buying cookies when two shooters hopped out of a stolen Benz and started letting off shots. The first dude the cops suspected for Dolph's death.
My thing is, he had a more even bigger spotlight on him because he was riding around in a fly car. Two is custom to you. You're the only one I think probably in the world that has or that had RIP camouflage car. Like I've never seen nobody with that type of paint on their car, bro. Nobody.
Was a rapper named Straight Drop. They grabbed another dude named Cornelius Smith at first, then Straight Drop got caught trying to run in Indiana the same day. A few months later, they arrested a dude named Hernandez Govan and claimed he's the one who ordered the hit, but it turns out there might be more to the story. Joshua Taylor, aka CEO Teezy from Trulla Mafia, was named as a person of interest in the case. He never got booked for Dolph's murder, but rumors say he helped plan the whole thing. A dude named Jamarcus Johnson was also arrested for helping the shooters escape after Dolph's death, and he ended up pleading guilty and agreed to testify against everyone else in the case so his murder charge would get dropped. There's a good chance that Johnson would have gotten Teezy jammed up in the case too when he took the stand, but the ops caught up to Teezy before the police had the chance. Back in June, Teezy was found dead in his whip from gunshot wounds. Nobody's been booked for his murder, but there are a couple rumors going around about what happened. One version says that Dolph's homies from Paper Route Empire or Double R killed Teezy for revenge. Teezy was already Double R's op, so they had a reason to take him out. But if they knew he was involved with Dolph's murder, it would definitely put a bigger target on his back. There's also a wild rumor that says Teezy got backdoored by his own people. There's no evidence to back any of this up yet, but here's a theory flying around right now. Yo Gotti wanted Dolph out of the picture and allegedly put a bag on his head. Teezy and other Trulla affiliates were already cool with Gotti, so they went to collect the money and getting tighter with his crew. The hit went down like it was supposed to, but the shooters were sloppy and ended up getting caught. Even though Teezy was never charged, a lot of people think he was involved somehow. And if he got wrapped up in the case, he could have told the police everything he knew and skated on his own charges. So that's why some people think Gotti wanted Teezy gone too.
That's crazy.
If Gotti really was involved and was in contact with Teezy about the hit, it could have got him sent away for life if Teezy decided to flip. This is all just a rumor though, and right now there's no evidence even linking Gotti to Dolph's death. People want to tie Gotti into the situation because he's a big name and it would make the whole story even crazier. But in reality, it probably all happened because of the Trulla Mafia and Double R war. Dolph wanted to help other dudes from the streets of Memphis make it out and change their lives. But when you sign an artist who are in the middle of a gang war, you're just going to end up putting a target on your own back. The trial for Dolph's murder probably won't start till next year. But when Jamarcus Johnson testifies against his homies, we'll find out way more about what's going on behind the scenes. Hopefully the police are protecting him though, because otherwise he might end up like CEO Teezy. Double R and Trulla Mafia turned Memphis into a war zone and lost a ton of people on both sides. Big Scar survived it all and looked like he was really gonna blow up in the industry. But then last year, he was tragically pronounced dead after an accidental overdose. The beef cooled off because so many dudes ended up either dead or in prison though. And hopefully it stays that way because Memphis has already lost way too many people to the streets. Rest in peace to everyone who lost their lives.
Oh God. Condolences to everybody that lost their life in this video, man. RIP Dolph. Catch you on the next one.